So let's continue. This time we're gonna be talking about audio. Transcribing speech to text. In this tutorial you will add a feature to Scrumdinger that captures and logs meeting transcripts. You will request access to the device features like the microphone and integrate the speech framework to transcribe low audio to text. Okay, that's cool. So request authorization to device features. Scrumdinger uses the microphone to record the audio that is used to generate the meeting's transcripts. A security feature, user must, security, privacy, typical thing you need to do every time you want to access some device hardware. So we need to do this typical thing, which is a little annoying because you need to go to the info list and you need to look for, what is the key? I'm just gonna skipping this because it's not that interesting in terms of SwiftUI. Privacy, speech recognition, user description. Yeah, and you can put, whatever you want here. For the tutorial, it doesn't matter what I'm gonna use. And then we need privacy microphone usage. Privacy microphone usage. And what do you want me to put here? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we have these two. So if you don't put this, then you can, like when you try to use the APIs to access these things, like they just fail, like it doesn't work. You need to have a proper message. And this message also check, I'm pretty sure it was used to check when you upload the binaries to the App Store and stuff like that. So it's very important that these things are properly defined. And it's something that the app review takes a close look at. It's like they read this and it's like if it doesn't make sense, they complain quite a lot, especially if you start talking about health data and stuff like that. And as another piece of advice, you can use localized strings, and basically these guys have a key. Like this is a nice description, but if you do row keys and values, if you change to this, you see basically the underlying key of the property file. So, with this, and that's basically the string key that you can use on your localized strings, which it should be, I think it's info.strings, and that allows you to localize this for all the languages, but it's quite nice to actually write a proper description when you are looking at this file. So then we're going to go to models, speech recognizer, which is something it comes with the starter project. And we have basically a helper for transcribing a speech to text using AV audio engine. So we call record with a binding to a string. Okay, so somehow we're gonna get, so we put a string that we're gonna display on the UI, and then this object is gonna make sure to keep updating that string. And of course the UI is gonna reflect that automatically. Then you can stop it and that stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be super deep on this specific API because we're here to talk about SwiftUI. Can access and request each time, which also takes the permission. Okay, so they take care of that. Perfect. So if it can access, it starts doing it, otherwise it doesn't. Okay. So now we're going to go and integrate it. So we go to the speech recognizer on the meeting view. Meeting view. So that's the one that it's going to take care of the speech recognition. So we're going to add here. Okay, the straight property for the transcript. So that's the string that we are now going to be passing into the speech recognizer. They use some, I guess they put all the state first and kind of like the dependencies later or something like that. I guess, I don't know. So on appear, we start recording basically. On appear, you start recording, and we pass a binding to this state, and now we somehow need to use the state. And of course on this appear we stop recording because otherwise it will keep recording when it gets outside the app. Do you put it anywhere special? No, just stop it, the Scrum, you stop recording, and then you save it to the history. Okay. And then we add the recording. Use the bar in the next session to display recording indicators. Okay. But don't we then have to fence these calls based on this property? Shouldn't we have done that first? I don't know, it's a little weird. No, we're not fencing it. We are just, so this is recording is just keeping the state. Why you don't make this thing keep the state for you? Because it's a struct. Okay. I don't know. I will have done it this way. In my head, this guy should be. It should be a class which an observable object, and then you should be able to just access that state is recording. And then, yeah, I don't know why we need to keep track of this ourselves in the view when we already have an object taking care of pretty much everything related to this domain. Whatever. So now we display the recording indicators. Now you can transcribe meetings, you'll add visual elements and accessibility, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then the meeting timer view. So that's the one we did on the previous part of the tutorial. So here we're gonna put an is recording boolean. But isn't it always recording when you are on that screen? The comparison because it's additional, yeah, of course we need to update everything. So it's recording, you are just passing the local state that we just added. And we can now pass here the local state that we have here, we pass it here. So on appear it's gonna switch to true, and this is gonna basically re-render with is recording true and then to false. Which, I don't know. It feels to me that unless we're adding a switch later, this is recording. I don't see the point of this. Probably I'm missing something. For sure. Okay, so we want to add this recording here. If it's recording, we put true, and if not, and this image has zero experience when informing users. Okay, yeah. There you go. And we add the accessibility. Yeah, I kept reading because, I mean, that's a common thing that you use icons on your UI, and the voiceover reads basically the name of the icon. So yeah, I knew they were gonna do this because it's a super common thing, and it's very good that they keep reinforcing this idea of accessibility is important. You don't have to leave it for later. It's basically something that you need to do as you are coding your feature. So pretty cool. Okay. So the way this is gonna be read is Bill is speaking with transcription. Because we just said here that we combine everything, so VoiceOver is gonna read everything together. Cool. Nice. So next you will build the last view of Scrumdinger. You have used the speech recognizer to transcribe meetings. Now you will create a history view that displays the meeting text and attendees. Okay, so you don't see the transcription live. Okay, fair enough. So let's make a new view, history. No, that's not a view, that's a model. Add a transcript property. Okay, so we already have this model, which is history, and we need to add the transcript. So transcript is a property, which is an optional thing. To add it everywhere. I'll copy this because one of these things that Swift is still not very good at, generating these initializers for you by default, especially if you use public and all that stuff. So yeah, something I'm comfortable copy pasting because it's just boilerplate. Now in the meeting view, initialize the story with the transcript property. Yeah, so we were already adding this. Now we need to add the transcript. Okay. So this is here. So on disappear, when we're saving, we need to add here the transcript. Okay. What else? Now we need to create the history view, and this time let's make use of the SwiftUI template. So we want this. And now, again, as always, we want a preview that makes sense for the prototype that we're building, and then we're gonna keep expanding it. And if we change anything, although in this case, I'm not sure if we're gonna change anything because, we're receiving the model that we need to display, so I'm not sure we need anything else. Okay, so now we can start working with this. We're gonna be using a scroll view because of course there can be a lot of text, pretty sure that developer that just can't stop talking on the daily and nobody cares about what he's doing because he's working on some obscure thing that nobody else is affected by. So you need a scroll view for that guy, for sure, 100%. So let's use the scroll view here with a B-stack, and pretty sure I'm gonna probably put, it explains what the scroll view is. You just can view the complete transition. The view is under freeze the scroll view in your app. The list view automatically embeds itself in a scroll view. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's interesting how they say it. The list view automatically embeds itself. Fair enough. It's not like the list is a scroll view. It's that the list embeds itself in a scroll view. That's interesting. So it's something I've never thought about it. Yeah, somehow in my mind it was still. I was like, I guess when I talked about the list, I was also saying the list is a scroll view in the same way that we say that the table view inherits from a scroll view. I guess that was kind of my mindset, and in reality we had the since a list is a table view on iOS, so kind of makes sense. But it's really interesting that they say it that way. Like, that thing just kind of opened a little bit my mind in this aspect. Yeah, I'm gonna think about this when I actually talk about SwiftUI, because it's very important to use the proper words. People doesn't realize about that. Like, by using the wrong words when we talk, we're misleading a lot of people, that it's trying to learn from us. So let's try to use all the proper words, please. So add a divider with the button padding to create the visual separation between the header and the content. I'm kind of lost now. So we're making a scroll view with a B-stack and divider. Why do you make a divider at the top? Just to put that thing in there. Fair enough. It's a weird design. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought about that. I was not expecting it, The time section will show attendees time recording. Okay. So then we have the history attendee string. Okay, so this basically, converts the attendees data into a single comma separated string. Okay. So let's put this. I want to take a look at this formatter. So let's just quickly put this here and make an extension on the history and take a look. List formatter. What is this list formatter? Yeah, that's the one that comes with foundation. Yeah, and that's list formatter. Okay. I was just double checking if there was something special for SwiftUI. But no, it's just the foundation one. Yeah. This is super nice because it takes care of, putting commas between each element. And for example, you can see how in English it puts the and for the last one and stuff like that. Like, you could just use an array of strings and then join by and then you pass the comma, but that's not localized. That's basically kind of like to programmer, like it's what a developer will do. But here you have like a super easy way, which is like kind of like it's the same amount of code, and you have it like fully localized in all the languages. Even if you just wanted to use it in English, you get this and for free in here. And I guess they use, how is it called? The Oxford comma or something like that? I know there is always a discussion if there should be a comma here or not. I never put it. Personally, I never put it because I think on all the languages I know, we don't put it, so yeah. But that's something else. And then we put the transcript. We say transcript and we put the transcript, and that's it. Follow it, the transcript. Okay. I guess we're gonna give some formatting to this because it seems too plain. We should be giving some weight in changes, contrasting the titles with the transcript and stuff like that. So let's see if we actually do that or not. Yeah, okay. So you put a headline and the top. Did I put the font? Yeah, headline here. Yeah, so basically we have these two headlines And we add some padding at the top to separate it from this line here. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like this thing about putting, I don't know, padding in one thing to separate it from the previous one, sometimes it feels, weird, because then you move a little bit these things and the padding doesn't relate to the thing that you wanted, so you need to be a little careful. Maybe putting some spacer here with a fixed size or something like that, it would be like a better way of doing it. But there you have it. Okay, I still think we need some more padding around this thing. Okay, so the scroll view adds navigation title. It shows the history date, then add the padding after the title. Text date style includes other formatters to the displays. Yeah, so that's something I talked in a previous part of the tutorial, where, yeah, like they added this style with the most recent version of SwiftUI, iOS 14, I guess, when they released iOS 14. And it's actually quite nice because it has some nice formatting out of the box, and it even automates something like the timers and stuff like that. So that's quite nice. And of course, we don't see anything because we're not on the preview, we're not in a navigation view, so this is kind of useless. So yeah, so now we integrate the history view in the app. Yeah, on the previous tutorial where we added the history list here, like we didn't finish it, basically, like we just click on it and nothing happens, which always felt weird. So yeah, so now we need to go there and surround it with a navigation link. Okay. And the destination of the navigation link, it's a history view. Perfect. So when you click on this, we're going to be creating this view and passing the history to it, and that's what we are going to see. And that's it. So if we run it, we should be able to use all of this. Okay, there we go. So let's do this. Let's start the meeting. It's asking for speech recognition. Say okay. Let's say okay. So now Kathy is speaking and it's been recorded. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure how much of this is gonna be transcribed properly with my obvious accent. So I'm gonna click next. Now Daisy is speaking, speaker 2 of 4. Simon is speaking, Jonathan is speaking. Jonathan is the last speaker, and we're just gonna click back. And now the recording should have been saved on the history, and if we open, we can see how the history, yeah, so now he is speaking and it's been recorded. Pretty cool. I'm not sure how much of this is gonna be transcribed properly with Miley Oak. So I'm gonna get next. No, it's speaking, speaker 2 4. Okay, yeah, so well, I mean, we know that the transcribing and the speech recognition, unless you are like proper English and your accent it's like the pure one that the speech recognition knows how to handle, don't expect much from it, don't expect much. So that's pretty much the app for you, which it's kind of cool. So I think we can do a last review. Before though, let's check our understanding. Which code snippet fills the missing code to request authorization? So now they're asking things about this framework, which we didn't analyze. So let's see if we can answer though. I mean, Apple frameworks, all of them were the same way. So with the experience I have, I should be able to answer. Let's see if that's true. Okay, I understand now. So the missing code. So okay, yeah, I didn't understand what this what was the question. So I mean, I guess it's request authorization. Speech recognition task. Nice. Oh, it's a task or it's not a task? Maybe it's a task. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, no, it's not a task. Fair enough. In addition, call request, what other task must be completed to use speech recognition? Displays words, showing visual indicators, adding privacy keys, as we said on the info list. You have text view that displays multiple content. How do you ensure the content of the text view is always seen? I mean, you put it in a scroll view. Easy. So that's it for this video. Yeah, let's take a look at wrapping up. Let's see what they talk about and see how it goes.